Hello. Welcome to another rendition of the Popcorn Hounds with our movie reviews. It's the Afro Ninja Huey.
And your psychopathic soldier, Eli.
And this week we're going to be covering Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, I thought this was an enjoyable film.
Hold on, Hugh, you forgot. This is our special intro since we couldn't do this last year. This, everybody, is our Halloween rendition. So when you catch this is our Halloween rendition.
Oh, around that time it's going to be Halloween, so...
That's if you upload the 2 video sets after this.
That would be pretty cool. So yeah, Hotel Transylvania 2, man. Now, I know a lot of people saw the first movie and people were they really liked it, seeing as how, with Sony Animation Pictures was just coming off of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, so they were thinking like, hey, let's see how long we can ride this animation coattail, man. And then they came out with Hotel Transylvania. Now, from a personal perspective, I didn't see Hotel Transylvania until like a few years after its release, because...
So 2013, basically.
Around 2013, so I saw it on a whim. It was like, okay, maybe I could see it because I saw Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, so I think I might find this enjoyable. And then I saw it and I was like, wow, this is really, really enjoyable. And, I had a lot of fun. Not only did it, it wasn't an annoying musical number like you see a lot of animation movies nowadays.
And it wasn't Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. Thank God for that.
It wasn't considered, a traditional Adam Sandler movie. But, it was really fun. The characters down to the animation. Everything was just so vibrant and lively.
Even the characters that are supposed to be used as plot devices. And yes, Johnny in the first movie is a plot device.
Yeah.
None of y'all can deny that. I saw it right off the bat and I was like...
Johnny was a plot device. He was a plot device used to... open up the doors between the monsters and the humans. He was
basically the human ambassador bro guy.
Yeah.
And I saw Hotel Transylvania the very following year. I didn't see it that year that it came out. I saw it the following year on ABC Family. And the fact that they had it like original movie quality, I was blown away. I immediately loved it. It was a Halloween classic to me right off when I saw it. And I loved it. I loved the whole process.
I mean, a lot of people
went through it.
Yeah, a lot of people praised the animation more than anything.
It's Genndy Tartakovsky, good sir. What you expect?
You
think he's gonna waste his time on something that's not gonna meet his animation expectations?
Yeah.
No, that man's done some good stuff. He's done the original Clone Wars. He's done Samurai Jack, Dexter's Laboratory. Oh, the stuff this man could teach animations. I would gladly take a class from him, But this right now we're talking about Hotel Transylvania 2, and it meets his animation standards. It just doesn't meet his story standards. And yes, I'm regretfully saying like Hotel Transylvania 2. I mean, it's riding on one's gravy train.
I mean, what can you expect? Like, a lot of sequels tend to not do that well.
But what I find aggravating was that Genndy was just given a script written by the main lead writer of the first movie and Adam Sandler for this one. In the first movie, Adam Sandler wasn't a part of the writing. Adam Sandler was nowhere involved in the writing. It was the first writer and then 2 other guys helping make the story mix and mingle.
Yeah.
And this clearly shows like when Adam Sandler is given something like he's almost free reign to go over in the script, he comes up with some weird stuff to put into it. And I mean weird, like it doesn't constantly make sense because the first story was progression, and it was flowing progression that constantly went really well. Mavis trying to like understand Johnny trying to really understand her, and that progression worked really well. Even though Johnny was a plot device, he was a plot device that really helped the story. And in this movie, he's just nothing but a stupid plot device, and I hated that. You expect somebody when they become a father, they lose their tendencies. I hated that they didn't make Johnny lose any of his tendencies. They still made him that stupid slacker, and then when they have this out of nowhere, not needed whatsoever skate park entry into the movie, I'm like, Johnny, that's your wife, and literally Mavis has to tell him like, I'm your wife, not your girlfriend. I'm like,
he was
why did you have to go there?
They have this one scene where during their I would like to say
mini vacation
from their family. When they go to visit Johnny's family in California, there's this one scene where Johnny's basically taking Mavis around to see the sights, and they happen around this skate park, and then Johnny, being the bumbling idiot that he is, he fails. And then he throws the reins over to Mavis, and she pretty much just like
excels.
She shits on everybody.
She shits on everybody.
She shits on everybody, man.
Everybody up. Like some people that were skating in the background literally stopped and saw like this girl skating on
she
power
shits
lines.
on everybody. And then when she finishes, and like Johnny's super excited, and then she said, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, that's my girlfriend." And then Mavis just corrects him. It's like, your wife, sweetie. I'm like, dude, how you messed that up?
Dude, you have a ring on your finger. You're supposed to be whipped well before you start talking to other people bragging about your wife. I'm like, God, you got this backwards.
How do you mess that up? You would think of all people, he would be glad to have Mavis as his betrothed, but no. He apparently thinks in that free sense of the word is like, oh, I'm free to date whoever I want.
I don't think it's really that. I think it's really the writing.
No. But I think it's just the way that they wrote his character. You're right. They wrote his character for this movie. They didn't really do anything new with it. He still had the same tropes that he did in the first movie. He was like this chill, bro-tastic guy.
Mountain Dew all the way.
Like Mountain Dew all the way. Like, this girl, get more, man. And he never moved past that in this movie. Like, you could see that in the way he was interacting with Mavis when it came to their son Dennis.
And can I point one thing out? Those transitions, man. Those year-long transitions went from...
Yeah, the transition... No. We'll get into that later. But we're talking about Johnny's character right now. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, but like, when you go on even though we're going to go on to transition later, but even after all the years they spend with their son and all the fun both of them have raising him, you expect Johnny, or at least one of them, Johnny, to pick up on like, okay, Mavis is trying to be the serious parent, like the full-on serious but still protective parent. I should try to become more than just this bro kind of guy around my son. I already
pointed out to you and your brother, but you pointed out to you, your brother, and your mother, like, one, decisive piece of evidence that Johnny has not learned shit in the past 5 years. His fucking clothes, man. You realize he has not changed his clothes in the last 5 years.
6. I keep correcting you on that. 6 years.
He still wears that same piece of shit shirt and that piece of shit cargo shorts and sneakers.
Even Dracula from the first movie said, I knew something was going to fall out of that backpack. And he immediately took half a whiff of that nasty shirt and literally like, no! I should not have smelt that.
He has not changed his clothes for the past 6 years. Like, I can understand maybe Dracula or Mavis because all they can wear is pretty much black. That's all. That's their thing.
Because black is
black is like absorbs sunlight and all that jazz. But Johnny, we're talking about Johnny, man. He's a fucking human. He's supposed to like have some expression or some fashion sense.
At least they didn't make him a pasty ginger. They gave him sun color.
But he didn't change his clothes for the past 6 years.
I find it weird because neither Dennis changes his clothes. You notice that it took Dracula to change his fucking clothes.
It took Dracula to change his clothes. Even he had some sort of scenes where, he doesn't wear albeit it's the same outfit, but it's not the same outfit.
He has different sets.
He has different sets of the same outfit. And I'm thinking that's what Johnny does, or maybe
I doubt it.
He just does what that dude. He just does what that dude from Big Hero 6 does. Like how he says, like, I've been wearing the same underpants for the same week. First I go front, then I go back, then I go inside out, then I go front and back again. I'm like, damn, that's nasty.
You got shit stains all across your face.
That is fucking nasty. Like he's like, oh, go front, I'm back, and then inside out, then I go front and back again. Like. If Johnny, I wouldn't be surprised if this nigga and Johnny was roommates in college, man.
I could see the hairstyle.
Bruh.
And the hairstyle, the bro-tastic shit. Them niggas must be roommates.
Like he said, I still was upset that from the first movie he was upset because one dude took a bigger bite from his energy bar. I'm supposed to be surprised that was his fucking roommate.
But yo, the problem with this movie, and especially how we established with Johnny's characterization,
but every
character's character development was just really stunted.
I'll admit
in this
it
movie.
because some of the moments with the characters, like the B characters,
yeah.
They honestly grew out of their monster tendencies. Like they became modern monsters to the point, like no matter how much you try to become a monster again, humans won't be fucking afraid of you.
Yeah.
And it's evident, like with technology, humans are only afraid of like that torture porn. That's the only thing that really makes people jump out of their seats when they see somebody like a human causing pain to themselves, or like an American Psycho, that kind of torture.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing that will make them jump out of their seats. Or you could go campy, ghost, stupidness, and paranormal activities. And yes, people, there's another paranormal activity coming out, and guess what it's about? A fucking camera. Yes, this is happening. And I won't blame you if the first few theater tickets come back and it's already close to $1 million.
You know,
I will take my check now, good sir.
This what little kids go through whenever they find out there's a new Land of Time movie coming out. This Paranormal Activity is our Land of Time. You know that?
You mean
right?
Land Before Time?
Land Before Time. Thank you.
I kind of stopped watching Land Before Time.
No, I'm making a comparison.
Like, yeah, totally.
Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land Before Time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are they up to 14 yet?
I thought they stopped at 12.
Damn it. Anyway,
so
back to character development.
And these next two characters, I wished that the story had actually played these two more in a clashing role. It's Mavis and Drac. Mavis became the motherly figure that I expected her to become in this movie. And it really works. She has that personality, like telling her father, like, don't force my son to do stuff that he's not capable of doing. He's human. Even though you want him to be a vampire, please stop. He has limitations. But Drac really wants Dennis or what did Drac say?
Denisovich or some shit like that?
Denisovich. He wanted Denisovich to be a vampire. And he's showing Dennis all these amazing stuff that vampires can do. But Dennis, he's meek. He's like, I can't do it, but I can pretend to do it. Like,
yeah. And then even though he knows he can't do it, he has fun with it.
He has fun just spending time with his vampire. Yeah. And I was like,
vampire grandpa. That shit's obvious, ain't it?
Yes. And then I was like, you should have this bonding moment with your father.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that you
barely
go on with your father.
That's the thing. We barely see any scenes with Dennis, Mavis, and Johnny as a whole family. And we barely see that.
And then when you do, it's basically in the transition scenes where Johnny and Mavis are raising him, and then Drax just always butting in. I'm like, these are good points where you could have Mavis and Drax clash more over how they should raise Dennis, and have Johnny be like, oh, I'm here for you, son. I'm not trying to force you to be either. I'm just saying, like
not trying to force you to be not trying to force you to be, a foreign blood sucker.
Yeah, or be
a foreign blood sucker.
They should have made Johnny be that neutral kind of guy. Made his character progression be that neutral father figure. Like, I'm not trying to make you live up to your inheritance on either side. I'm just being here to support you. And they don't play that.
Johnny they never play that card that and the
only time they show
Drac try to balance him between two worlds and try to try to like encourage him to be part of either one, or
and
just
then
be part of both.
And then yet again, they make him a plot device with Drac threatening his backpack, and I'm like, God, what is with you in that backpack?
Like, it took
man?
him a fucking threat towards his backpack to convince him to take out Mavis to see his parents so they can have time with Dennis. So it's like, okay, we're going to make Dennis, you know, develop
Like
his
a
vampire
monster.
powers. Like, think like a monster.
And then I'm just looking the whole time like, this is a good chance.
Like,
for,
you know what it felt like? Like, you know what it felt like the whole thing I was watching?
Meet the Fockers episode.
No, it felt like I was watching a Hangover movie. You know,
Oh, like yeah,
like
I got
the idea
baby.
is like, we got the baby, you know, we gonna take this baby on for a ride.
Oh God, I see the connections already. Fuck.
We gonna take this baby out for a ride.
And
We got this guy. He has to get to his wedding in like a day, but we gonna like find out what the fuck happened last night.
And yeah.
And it's just
speaking
them,
of a
just-
wedding, you saw the cock block that Drac did for Mavis and Johnny's wedding? Holy shit. I didn't get that much flack from my I didn't give my stepfather that much flack when he kissed my mom at their wedding. I was like, I'm really supportive right now. How the fuck you been allowing Mavis and Johnny to date for half a year before they had their son and still get on his case for being human? What kind of shit is that? And then you go out of nowhere supporting your grandson to be a monster? You are a fucked up hypocrite, Dracula.
No. That's like typical like father-in-law stuff. He'd be like, he watches him closely while he gets it with his daughter. Like, he's at the altar. He'd be like, yeah, don't go too far. Oh, not too much tongue now. Not too much tongue. Ease up on that saliva. Ease up. That's typical father-in-law stuff, man. That ain't nothing new. But that's cock blocking on the supernatural sense.
But
yes.
But then it's not fair because then you don't get that idea that Drac is a little more supportive. And I like how they played the card. Like, Drac allowed humans into his life, but not into his heart.
Yeah.
They played that card, and I was like, that is the way you should have played this whole movie. Not leave it to the halfway, like to the last third.
To the halfway
No,
point.
that was a third. I looked up the time. That was the third.
Okay.
And that last third, you fucking saw it. It turned into a superhero movie.
Oh yeah.
We'll
We'll get into that a little bit, but
right now we're still focusing on Drac, and I really wish that they played up Mavis and Drac's clash that happened at the third mark a little more. Because out of nowhere, you just see Johnny's family come for Dennis's birthday, and you don't see them. You see them sitting right next to each other, and you don't see no more clashing. I'm like, come on, you really just let that slide? You're not gonna let no more clashing? And I was like,
they did lose.
They have
huge
moments.
plot opportunity.
They have moments
Yeah.
all throughout the movie. And they even give the B characters moments all throughout the movie. Each monster trying to relive the glory days, and they fail comically. Even though Frankenstein, he got a freaking selfie, like all the commercials show. He made a selfie with the humans. Werewolf, he couldn't chase anything. He even openly told Dracula, like, we eat stuff from cans now. You see how many kids I have? I can't go out and just find random animals to eat. Even though from the first movie you showed yourself like chomping out a ton of sheep.
Yo, the werewolf, his face that he makes whenever his kid's around is the face of every single middle-aged father with a shit ton of kids.
But he has
that tired and depressed face.
He has the epitome of the world's biggest family right now.
He has that face.
You don't see that many other werewolves like talking to him. You just see his wife every single scene pregnant. And I'm like, how the fuck do you have enough money or food resources to support these many kids? And then the one female of all his kids
if you go to that type of guy at your job, like, he always has that depressed face, and he always throws it off with a whimpering little smile, and he's like, hey man, it's like, how's your life going? It's like, man, I don't even go out to a bar anymore.
Bob from The Incredibles.
I don't even watch the game. I don't even. I can't even. You know what I'm looking at when I go to the store? I'm looking at tabloids. I'm looking at fucking realtor homes. I'm looking at shit that they don't even like make anymore. I'm looking at diaper magazines. I'm looking at things for pacifiers. Do you realize how dead my life is?
Do you realize how dead my sense of smell is?
Do you realize how dead my sense of smell is? I don't even get, I don't even salivate when I see a piece of steak or a piece of big ass chicken on the plate anymore. I just pass it over. It's like, you know what? All I want is soup, some coffee, newspaper. I'm good. Just leave me alone.
And my kids to stop destroying my house.
Just leave me alone. He has that face.
And then
and it's priceless.
And then
because he's had that face since the first movie.
Yeah, and then you see in the first movie he has his portions where he smiles, where he does other stuff, but like you also see in this movie he just looks tired.
Oh yeah.
And then like his third litter's daughter, like even though she still seems young, she literally like she's a few hundred years old. Like what was it? A few
decades old.
Yeah, a few decades. And she's around the same age as Dennis. By her age to his human age is right around the same time. And
we talking about that, huh?
How hard she tries to make a zing.
Oh, the zing, man. She tries so hard to get that zing.
But also the fact that she openly says, out of 300 brothers and a certain amount of friends that come over, you're the nicest guy I know. And I'm like,
aww,
damn, you got shitty friends and you got some fucked up brothers, but that's given because your brothers always have those heavy metal hard rockers anarchy t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, where the fuck do you get this anarchy shit from? I heard of kids like having their own personality, but every one of them has the hard rocker personality. I'm like,
exactly.
You don't get that. Do you get that from your dad?
The special scenes with Dennis and I forgot the little werewolf girl's name. Winnie, yeah. The scenes with Dennis and Winnie, it was really cute, I really wish that... I don't really wish that I had more of them, but I wish they'd expand on the relationship a little bit more.
I wish they had
enough to, like, make me believe that ending, and they could be, like, a legit, couple in the future should they decide to make more of these movies, which I really hope they do, but just try to make it more...
Please, if you're gonna make
it more... Have it more substance.
Jindy, if you agree to a part 3, and God knows that the creators of this story is gonna make you do a part 3, just put your foot down and say, I'm not animating shit unless you read to me back and forth everything in this script and make it make fucking sense.
Yeah.
Because you know how shit is written, because you've written and talked about some good stuff in your anime career.
Yeah.
Animation career.
Like if they had enough scenes, I would definitely believe their relationship. But that one scene with them in the treehouse, that was the moment that I just had to take my glasses off. I was like,
you and my brother,
hold the fuck up. Little girl, you did not just say. And then like the scene where she takes Dennis to the treehouse where she basically likes to hide out from her brothers and her rest of her family.
And this is when they're at
and this is when they're at the hotel when Drax's father and Dennis's great grandfather comes to see him, see if he's actually a vampire, which he finds out he isn't.
And the whole thing around the main story is that they're trying to make Dennis's fangs come out, because every odd time they mention he's a late fanger like Dracula, and I'm like, Mavis wasn't a late fanger, so how do you know for sure that he is a late fanger?
Yeah.
If Mavis never whatsoever was a late fanger.
Yeah.
Because she immediately had her fangs when she was a baby.
And so
how
Drax's
do you know
father,
for sure?
Drax's father comes to Dennis's birthday to see if his fangs grew out, and he finds out. Yeah, his great vampire grandpa. That shit is obvious, ain't it? And he comes to see it, and then to his disappointment, it's not there. And so Dennis, torn between his human side and his vampire side, runs away. And
blaming himself.
Yeah, blaming himself for being a vampire.
Which I wish could have been a moment where Johnny was the big
he was
hero
the big
of
hero
the family
to support him in that matter, but he wasn't. And you know, Winnie is actually there to support him, and she brings him to Treehouse, where she also runs away from her problems to like find solitude. And she brings up like the weirdest shit I have ever seen in a kids movie.
You mean a weirdest phrase
No,
that
the
a child
weirdest
brings
shit
up?
that a child brings up. The future. I'm like, what? Like, she starts talking about like, you like this? You like these this beef stew that I made? Good, because that's gonna be one of the fewest homemade cooked meals that you will get when I go to business school, and then we start getting kids. I'm like, little girl, hold the fuck up.
You just went so fucking far.
You just better stop right there. You better stop. Yo, she talking business school. She talking homemade meals. And like she talking.
And mind you, she's smarter than all of her brothers put together. And all of them always have that heavy metal, like I'm gonna be an anarchy kind of guy, sentimentality. But unlike them, like she's the most feared out of all her siblings.
Like I've known a lot of like I've seen a lot of like little girls in animation movies, like animated movies, and they're mostly like very playful and you know very and they can be
moments.
They have their moments of smartness, and they can be like very they can have their moments of leadership and charisma. But this is the first time I've actually seen a little girl in a kids movie adopt such a real world trait. She adopted the real world trait of having a long-term relationship
and being a
businesswoman at that. She established the fact that this relationship is gonna be going places, and we gonna have to pull up responsibility to make sure it goes places.
But yet she doesn't. And yet I can see her as the wife that's always controlling, because unlike Mavis and Johnny's relationship, they're supported by Dracula. Dracula did have hired Johnny so that he would never leave the hotel. And I wish they played more to that so Johnny would have some more character progression.
Yeah.
And the fact that Winnie, one of the youngest characters, pulls up a progression for another character to follow suit to, I was like, then what the fuck do you expect Dennis to do when he grows up? Because his father's a practical stoner and he's a consultant for human resources.
Mm-hmm.
And you expect him to like not have one trait of stoner mentality in him, because he's got a father like that. Even though Dracula is always that fun, like, hey, look at me, blah blah blah, I'm gonna have some fun.
So yeah, we're running to like the half-hour mark. So we spoke about it earlier, but let's go into the transitions really quick before we end it.
Oh,
the transitions. It's so, I wouldn't call it seamless as much as the fact that it's absent. The fact that it has transitions, but the film doesn't really engage you in how they're done. Like 1 minute it's Dennis's second birthday. It's his second birthday, and they're presenting him gifts. And then literally the next minute they're saying like, the kid's almost 6 years old. When are you gonna stop treating him like this? And I'm like, what?
When did you jump that far?
When did we jump 4 years? What? Like, that's the problem. The transitions are not done well. And, you know, at least try to SpongeBob call card that shit, man. Like, 4 years later, some shit like that.
Or at least have show a calendar,
show a calendar dropping,
or like they did,
or show a montage or something while Dennis is growing up,
or like when
something.
They did have a montage of him.
They had a montage, but it wasn't
like
showing the years go by. It just went from one moment to the next, and
of
then
them having fun.
I found that kind of confusing and off-putting, because it takes you a while to adjust to the fact that, oh wait, it's 4 years later, so you know everything that we just saw, you know, a minute ago happened 4 years ago. Okay, but you know, outside
you should have really left that more.
Yeah, you should have put that more detail. You should have put more detail in that. But from a personal perspective, I'd say that's more of a pet peeve, because it's not that hard to follow along with it, but still,
it throws you off for a good minute.
It really throws you off for a good minute. So, final thoughts about this movie. Me personally, I thought it was a really enjoyable movie. It is a great animated feature for kids, especially adults, because it has a few jokes that most adults will get, and it definitely has things for the kids. The voice acting is great. The music is also great. The story, not so much. I would have to it really let me down in that regard.
The story had it basically drops off in progression of any character.
It really dropped off.
Shows.
Yeah.
It just has that. It just has Adam Sandler's stamp of like that average kind of animated fic that's just supposed to run its course and not show nothing interesting or any kind of physical conflict that would promote the plot itself.
Yeah,
and what kind of conflict they had, it just
doesn't really, it passes over it.
It just seemed there for there,
but they don't expand upon it, and that's what really got me off. But overall, I really had a good time. And as far as ratings, I would give this a front row seat. It is an enjoyable film.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, man. I can't.
You can't?
I can't give this a front row seat. I really can't.
I had a feeling you wasn't gonna give it to it.
I can't, because if I have to compare the first movie and this, and all the expectations I had from the first movie to this, I would give the first movie a front row seat. But for this, I would have to give this a bargain bin, man, because it let me down that much. I'm sorry, Jindy, but your animation is on par. If I had to give you a solid thing, I'd give you in between cable viewing and bargain bin, because the story, the progression of characters, the gags that kind of did work, it just didn't make me feel all that empowered to continue to go. This felt like something like you would give a child that would not sit down to watch, just to distract them, so you have that 10 minutes of relief. And that's why I say that this is in between cable and bargain bin, because it's on that high that would make you want to relive the first one, but it doesn't live up to the first one. And then that ending that kind of pissed me off.
2 words. Super Dennis.
All this movie, this kid, the dentist, the son has been talking
Super
about
Dennis.
All this movie, the kid, the dentist, even from the commercials, has been talking about I'm gonna fly like a superhero. That's his ending, and I'm like, oh, God.
Even though the movie had the whole message, it's like, oh, this kid is not a vampire, he is human. Then the ending comes, Super Dennis. You see his girl in trouble. Super Dennis.
Super Dennis to the rescue. It's like Underdog all over again.
And yeah, that's our review for Hotel Transylvania.
I still can't believe you gave this a front seat. I expected a cable view.